address on securing the future of crypto with innovation. We have Jeff. Okay. I guess we're gonna mic him up there. But yeah, that is that's a really important thing, and we do have the support of the administration really with the crypto community. They've been very supportive, and I think if we are able to present that case, that we're going to be able to do something. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. So there's my man Indy. After Jeff speaks, we're going to do our AI panel, the intersection of AI and in fintech. And artificial intelligence is one of those things really that I've had my eye on since I stepped back in the space 8 months ago, and it is really going to propel us forward. One of the other things that's going to propel us forward as a community is doing great things, and that's one of the things I talk about on stage all the time. Wherever I am, I speak at 2 to 6 conferences a month, and that as a community, as a crypto community, as a blockchain community, that we have to do so much good. And by doing so much good and by helping people out, we are going to move ourselves forward and be successful. And that's the way that life works. And I'll give you a short story, and then I'll introduce Jeff here on the stage. The way I'm here right now, the way I'm standing here in front of you and have the honor to host yesterday and today the Orvada stage is because one Saturday when I came home from overseas, I'm sitting there and I get a call from Tour Day Crypto, and they say, "Hey guy, we want you to help us out. We want you to support the event. The guys are riding across the country for crypto and for charity. They're riding across. They want to raise awareness for the charity, raise awareness for the charities in crypto." And I was sitting there, and I thought to myself, you know what? And it was in New York City. They're doing an event that night, 3.5-hour drive from DC. And I thought, well, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to hang out all day, or I can go up there and I can support these guys. They're doing something bigger than themselves, and it's no hair off my back. And you know what? I'm going to do it. And it took me 4.5 hours to get there. It was 12-hour all the way in. I did an interview up there. It's kind of a famous interview at this point with those guys. And apparently, the World CryptoCon guys had asked me somewhere to speak, and I said I was expensive. And they're like, oh, okay. But anyhow, helping Tour Day Crypto keyed me back in and started that conversation again, and that's how I'm here today. And so that's just an example of when you're helping people and when you're doing things that are bigger than yourself, it comes back to you. Karma's a two-way street. You do bad things, it comes back to you, but if you do good things, it comes back to you. And so that's really important, and that's exactly what we're going to do for Lynn. Okay, please join me in welcoming to the stage Mr. Jeff Galloway. Is a keynote on addressing the securing the future of crypto with innovation. Stage is yours.
We good? Awesome. Thanks for coming, everybody. I really appreciate it. I'd like to start this off by saying this is the best place you could ever have for a crypto conference. The weather's fantastic here. I've had a ton of fun. I've met a ton of great people, fantastic projects. I think everybody can kind of see there's just new innovations, new utilities coming. When you go out there and look at the presentations, you meet some of the new technology, people making some of the new technologies. It's very clear that everybody here wants to make cryptocurrency something that the entire world believes in, embraces, and takes seriously. The most important thing we can do to take cryptocurrency seriously throughout the world is to take it seriously for ourselves first. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I got a question for you guys. If you could give me a show of hands. How many people, oh, fantastic, thank you. How many people feel that cryptocurrency right now is secure? It was a loaded question because nobody likes putting up their hands. But not many people put up their hands. How many people feel that it will be secure in the future? Pretty good turnout. I agree. Not everybody put up their hands. A lot of people still haven't put up their hands. One of the things I want to accomplish out of these next 10 minutes is to give all of you a sense that cryptocurrency is going to be a mature, secure product in the future. I'm just going to jump to the slide. Luckily enough, our most important slide is the one that's working. So, when we're talking about security, we have to consider that most proof-of-work blockchains are susceptible to something called 51% attack. What that means is that if you own 51% of the network, you can actually double spend, or basically spend the same amount, as much as you want, twice in two different places, on two different exchanges. Now this is not a theoretical risk. This is an exploit which is taken down many blockchains. And these were not all garbage blockchains. Many of these blockchains had very unique technology, really important contributions to crypto, and they were completely destroyed. Bitcoin itself right now is owned by entities. Some entities own the hash power of Bitcoin by more than 51%. So the reality is we do have a problem. Now we are forked, our blockchain, SafeCoin, is forked from a technology called Komodo. Now, Komodo has an interesting way of addressing this problem. What they actually do is they integrate with another blockchain. And they've chosen to integrate with the most secure blockchain in the world, which is, I'm going to assume most of you agree, is Bitcoin. So what they've done is they've set themselves up in such a way that if an attacker chooses to compromise Komodo's network, and they would do this for financial gain, and many have tried, the first thing they have to do is take down the Bitcoin network. Then they can go after the Komodo network. So they've actually put themselves behind the security of Bitcoin. So it's a very interesting approach to providing a much higher level of security, and I think you'd all appreciate that. Now, we're introducing a similar technology called SafeNodes. It's using the same process called notarization or cross-chain linking, where you can actually integrate with the security layer of other blockchains, such as Bitcoin. So, the Bitcoin network in order to double spend SafeCoin. Now, what we're doing, I guess I should put this another way. Why don't more blockchains do this? Because I am serious, it's a very common problem. If you've been sort of in the altcoin world, you've seen many blockchains getting taken out with this method. Why don't more blockchains do this? It's super expensive. So Komodo spends over $1 million a year. They spend 180 Bitcoins on this integration method. They take it very seriously. That gets you a sense of how important this is to cryptocurrency and blockchains. And they will spend that amount of Bitcoin, that amount of money, just to make sure that their blockchain is protected. What we're doing, we've changed that implementation slightly, made some improvements so that we don't have to spend anything. So SafeCoin will integrate with Bitcoin, and it will not cost anything. What that means is that we can allow a sustainable form of security. We can ensure that we can be a reliable blockchain for people to invest in or to utilize without any of those risks. And you don't have to worry about us running out of money. This is a sustainable event that will just continue on. It also means that we're not limited to Bitcoin. So, for instance, what Komodo did is they raised a lot of Bitcoin in an ICO, and that's basically, they will continue to use that Bitcoin as long as they can until they run out. For us, we don't have to. We can integrate with Bitcoin, we can integrate with Ethereum or Dash. When we do that, that means that if you want to take advantage of the SafeCoin blockchain and double spend it, you're going to have to compromise the Bitcoin network. Then you're going to have to compromise the Ethereum network, then the Dash network. And when you've taken down all those networks, then you can come after SafeCoin. It costs nothing. So we're very excited about this. There's 3 steps here, basically, to cross-chain linking notarization. The first step is blockchain checkpoint data is collected, and basically proofs that everything that's happened so far in the blockchain is legitimate and has reached consensus legitimately is collected. Then that information is notarized using major blockchains for optimized security and immutability. Then we create those blocks at set difficulty, making the chance of a 51% attack close to nil. Now, lost the title. There's 3 problems with cross-chain linking notarization. There's 3 reasons why it's not done more. One is the high cost. Up until now, for blockchains, it was extremely expensive to cross-chain link, and so you rarely saw it. It's also fairly centralized. Usually the integration has some centralized points of failure, and that's always been a concern. Also, in the past, all cross-chain linkings up to this point have relied on a single blockchain, such as Bitcoin. Others will cross-chain link with Komodo or other coins they trust. In all of those cases, it's been a single integration, which means that if the coin you're integrated with goes down, you're left unprotected. So we've addressed all those concerns. We've removed the cost entirely. We're going to be introducing a much larger number of nodes to address the centralization problem. And we're going to integrate with multiple blockchains to remove that point of failure. So here are a few of the advantages of SafeCoin. You have the SafeNodes, which we've talked about. You have provable privacy. We are a privacy coin, an optional privacy coin. You can go transparent or private. We have robust speed and scalability. We have secure, smart, and now these bottom 3, secure smart contracts, tokenization and asset chain support, dedicated team and community. We have all the cool stuff too. We have our asset chains, we have smart contracts. If any of you are looking to do smart contracts, if you want to start your own blockchain, you can actually start a blockchain within SafeCoin. It will be a 1-line command to create a blockchain, and that blockchain can have its own tokens. And you can do that all under the protection of SafeCoin. So I'm over. I'd like to thank you all very much for your time. I hope you have a fantastic remainder of the conference and enjoy Vegas.
Good up to Galloway. Hey, thank you.